What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? You know what time it is, baby. It's time for the cage tonight. You either get right or you get left, as we would say up in here. So before we get this thing started, hit that like and that subscribe button. We got you covered for tonight, and we got a lot of things that we're going to go over and we're going to discuss tonight. So sit back, relax. We got you covered. Let's go.
Okay, y'all, this is it.
Man, you already know what time it is. It's time for the cage tonight. We got a jam-packed show for you and a lot of great things that's going to be taking place tonight. So right now, I got K-Dub in the building. We got some other folks that's going to be jumping in. What's happening, K-Dub?
What's going on? What's going on here? Story great to be in the building tonight with all the listeners and subscribers and everything. Let's get into this training camp news and things going on with the Atlanta Falcons. And let's march toward the start of the season and try to stay as healthy as we can. Let's go.
Hey, man, shout out to the folks down in Duval County, Jacksonville, Florida, also holding it down with the Dirty Herd Nation that's there too. And also, you know, shout out to my fellow Bulldogs and Jags around that way. I'm not forgetting about Duval. You know, hey, I carry the A in my heart, but Duval is on my back. I got you. I got you. But guess what? Terry Fontenot has us feeling a little bit like this right here ever since the draft.
I mean, sure enough, am I the prettiest? Sure enough, am I the baddest mofo low down around this time?
They got me feeling like show enough right now, walking around here in Philly and everywhere else I'm stepping. If you know that type of clip right there, you got to remember that clip came from The Last Dragon. Rest in peace to Mr. Julius Curry, a.k.a. Show Nuff. He got us walking around here feeling like Show Nuff right about now.
For sure. You said it with a mouthful right there, the story. You
hey,
said
man.
it.
Hey, we getting old school with it tonight, man. I got to throw some clips in there. We got some other stuff that we going to talk about, but let's go ahead and get to it, man. Before we get to the heavy Falcons news, we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about Mr. Arthur Blank. Recently, Arthur Blank has been doing a lot of things with HBCUs, such as the Fellows program. That's the program we talked about last week, where you get interns to work within the organization with the social media team, networking, and so many other things. Something else Arthur Blank did, which really helped out the Clark Atlanta University Panthers and also the Morehouse Tigers or whatnot, when you sit back and think about it, because football equipment is expensive. Arthur Blank donated helmets to both schools. So when you say that, it's major for their programs. Clark Atlanta played in the championship game last year. They fell short of their goal of winning the championship, but they definitely needed new equipment. They have it. Morehouse has it as well. So he's upgraded not only their facilities, the year before, because all the facilities were upgraded. Albany State, Morehouse, Savannah State. He donated money to all these schools. So now you have the local schools that's benefiting off of the equipment at this point. So shout out to Mr. Arthur Blank. You keeping HBCUs first. You keeping folks happy by the draft, and also taking up for these schools that are a little short in some of the funds that they have allocated towards the athletic program. We appreciate you, Mr. Blank, and definitely we're really loving the fact that you're looking out. Now, bring some more of these HBCU players into the Falcons organization. That's all I say. We appreciate what you're doing, but stop letting these diamonds get out of the black schools and not giving these guys chances. Kadero Hodge should show you enough right there. He and Chris Blair. You're talking about Prairie View, A&M guys, and you truly can stay right in the state of Georgia and pick up some of these guys that's right there. So please, please, please support the local HBCUs, Mr. Blank, the way that you've been doing. Start bringing this talent into Atlanta so we can have some groom talent as we did back in the 70s, like Mr. Alfred Jenkins, and Hall of Famer, rest in peace to Mr. Claude Humphrey. On to Falcons business now. Speaking of Arthur Blank, the resurgence in confidence for on the field and off the field. What did you take away from Arthur Blank's interview that he had after practice, K-Dub?
Well, like I said, I took away from him that he's enthusiastic and optimistic like I am. Like I said, he has a short time left on this earth, and we all know that. So, like I said, that's pushed the envelope for this organization and this franchise to get the job done rather sooner than later. So, like I say, I'm all for it. Like I say, stay healthy. And like I said, he's ecstatic about this particular team, and I am too. I know he's basically challenged the coaches that he's brought in, letting basically know that if it doesn't get done, that it may be good riddance. The pressure cook season for the fans and for the players and coaching staff. So, like I said, the energy and the passion is right there for it. Like I said, I was there on the field. You could feel it, the electricity. So I feel like they're going to do something this year, but we just got to stay the course and one game at a time. So I feel the same sentiments as Arthur Blank, that we're going to have a glorious season, and we'll see exactly where that lands at. I pray it's a Super Bowl victory, but we'll see what happens. But other than that, I just still think he's in a good, like his health is pretty good, but he's getting up there in age, and happens.
Man, when you sit back and you look at Arthur Blank and you think about when he showed up to the Falcons, and you think about the day that he drafted Michael Vick, and eventually letting Dan Reeves go, which hurt, and then you bring in a Jim Mora, then you go from there to now you're bringing in a Mike Smith, winningest coach in our history, and you look at the history of coaches that he's gone down. He's gone to one Super Bowl, and you saw the swagger that he had in 2016. You saw the swagger that he had when he had Mike Smith here. The question is, what is giving him so much confidence in Raheem at this point and the moves that they've made with this young team? You sit back and you think, if my owner is coming out speaking on a high level when it comes to this team and talking about the good things that they're putting out here and the things that they're doing, all you can do is just sit back and say, well, this right here is very interesting. All I can do is just sit back and just smile, because Arthur Blank hasn't been this confident in years. Last time we saw him sitting back smooth at the podium was 2016, when we went to the Super Bowl that year, and when things started to turn around. 2017, he was just as confident. But when we lost that game to Philly, you saw it just go away. Hurt like hell to talk about it and think about it, but it hurt. And not just the fans, but also Arthur Blank. And as you said, he's getting up there in age. You look at the money that he shelled out. You look at some of the moves that have been made on his watch. This man wants to win. We saw that we won the soccer championship for the major leagues. He was happy because he got a championship, but it wasn't the joy that you saw when we went to the Super Bowl and he's sitting there dancing on the podium. He didn't have that same energy. He was happy, smiling. He says, okay, I got a ring in Major League Soccer, but the sport that I came into Atlanta for, I need a championship. So when you sit back and you think about it, at this point, it's a beautiful thing when you see how this cat is really getting this thing leveled out at this point. I love it. Now, getting back to it with Arthur Blank, you heard the positivity he has for Coach Morris. He loved what Terry did in the draft, being aggressive. And lastly, before we switch the subject about player personnel, the one thing that I believe, and I know a lot of people are saying Terry might lose his job if they don't win. Here's my thing. I think Terry has bought himself time, because not only did this man straighten up the salary cap hell that we were in, this man brought in players and he was aggressive in really every draft except during the Arthur Smith tenure. It was trying to be aggressive last year. Didn't happen because it was a player that was taken. But now you're seeing that he's getting free reign at this point. And all you can do is just hope that Mr. Blank gets rewarded at the end of this, because that confidence swagger we haven't seen in a long time, K-Dub.
That's, I mean, it's refreshing because he's been, like just a pruned up the last few years. But I mean, that's how the fans were. We're not wanting to come into the bins and root them on and be like they were at training camp and just hit the energy back, man. I mean, it just felt good. I just feel like we feel like if you know football, a lot of us know football. I mean, they try to put a regimen of what football knowledge we have in the land. We know football. And this team just feels right. You finally was aggressive with the pass rush, because even if Jalen Walker is on the mend with a minor hamstring injury right now, you still went great. You got a James Pierce Jr. acting a fool. So it was you're just making the right moves. You're putting the right places and putting the pieces in the right places. So I just feel like we are better equipped, better coaching. You brought in a Coach Ollie that's just so passionate and all about the rush. I mean, I just felt in the right coaching staff. And when you first got here, you were trying to be too friendly and bringing friends along, and you had to bring guys along that's going to get the job done, that really football and really know how to get after it. And these same two coaches, Arthur Blank is he's basically reminiscing back to 2016, because when these two guys were together, they went to the Super Bowl together. So I mean, it still has some of that same remnants of that team that he did the dance with to go to the Super Bowl. So I mean, he has some fond memories, and also as fans we have fond memories. So it'll be nice to go on another ride and with this team and support them and do the things we need to do to get back. And then it'll be the inaugural 60th season of the Falcons, and then it'll be get it on this year, man. It'd be great to get it in the 60th year of the Falcons. So it'll be something amazing. So I just can wait to see it. Like I see championships with the Braves, but I just never seen a NFL football championship in Atlanta. And I just want to see exactly, how the city reacts, with all the naysayers and all the people that live here that are transplants and talk so bad about our squad. I would just love to rub it in their face for a good old solid football season and get some giving.
We might have to get you to drop out and wait a minute. We might have to get you to drop out and drop in, because you keep cutting in and out. Like, and I'm like, hey, he cooking, okay, and he keep cutting in and out. Like, damn.
I will come back out. I will go out and come back in. I will do what I got to do to get it.
Boy, right. It just feel like Smokey on Friday, like my dog say. Just
Y'all ain't never got two things that match.
That's how I feel. It feel like we don't never have two things that match. You heard Smokey and Friday telling you we ain't never got two things that match. He cooking right now, and the internet is going in and out. Like, come on, man. Like, damn, let the man cook. Come on, let the internet just flow. We good. But all I'm saying is this, man. When you sit back and you look, like K-Dub was saying, you got a lot of these transplants that are in the city. Yeah, I was born in Grady. I'm a Grady baby. I was migrated down to Duval County or whatnot, after some situations. So you can check my birth certificate, Grady Memorial Hospital, baby. My first address of residency. It was 5270 Daytona Drive, right off of Enon Road. So I'm a transplant moving to Duval. Let's get that straight. But Duval is home to me. But at the same time, I'm never forgetting where my life started at. So let's get that straight. But getting back to it, though, K-Dub, all I can say is this, man. When you sit back and you look at everything Oh, what's going on, Reese? I just figured out which
Pete,
Reese.
man. It's Grady, baby, man.
Hey man, this my
You know what
hey
time
man,
it is.
shout out to Miss Reese. I'm not gonna put your name out there or whatnot. Just know it's Reese. If you know, you know. Doug Legend on that basketball court. Shout out to Miss Reese out here getting it in. But getting, she graduated with my little sister, so it's all good though. Long time good friend of mine, great friend of mine from back in the day. But man, all I can tell you is this, man. When you sit back and you look at what the Falcons have already become and what they're starting to transition into. Like today, I got blessed today because Miss Connie Carberg, who was one of our guests, the first female scout in the NFL with the New York Jets, she had me to, I'm up here in Philly still. She invited me today. It was about an hour and a half drive. I got to go to the Jets camp today. It was cool, great environment. Got to see a damn good dog in Arian Smith. Good luck this year, just not against us. We don't need you pulling a miracle out like you did against Ohio State. You know, I love all my Bulldogs unless they playing against us, or playing for the Saints. Just what it is. But got to meet them, got to go around, and I wasn't able to come down to Atlanta. It wasn't nothing but a drive for me to go up here. But the energy, it was cool. I enjoyed it, had a good time. But it damn sure ain't like our camp. I can tell you that now. After seeing the videos, seeing the energy that was put out, like, it was cool. But, they say last year was rocking because of Aaron Rodgers, but it was chilled. It was chill. Maybe they get live on the weekend. I don't know. But it stayed live in Atlanta the whole time. So if you get a chance to go to any other training camps or whatnot in your spare time, go. See what the environment is like, because guess what? You can compare it to the energy that you bring in Atlanta for these Falcons. You get to see. You really get to see. And being a spectator is not all bad. It's pretty cool. You get to sit back and you get to chill. Now, there was one fool, and I say a fool because that was what it was. You don't show up to your rival's house like that. And this dude it was a guy that had on a Patriots jersey and a Dolphins jersey. And let's just say, I know we got a nasty rivalry with the Aints and the Bucks, but man, when you sat back, K-Dub, when I say it was some words that was said and damn near fist flying. It was about to be. And, they ended up leaving, but it was just, and here's the best part. I got to see former Falcon. So I got a Falcon, met a former Falcon safety that played from 2008 to 2010, Mr. Eric Coleman, that played for the Jets as well. He played for our Falcons as well. Got to take a picture with him. Good dude. He said he wished he could have stayed in Atlanta, but business is business. So I understood, but he always is going to have love for Atlanta. He told me that. So if you're on X, check out the page. I got the pics posted. Definitely out here. But getting back to these Falcons, the next thing that we're going to talk about right now, speaking of wide receivers, DJ Chalk considered retirement, but it was for Easton Stick, backup quarterback or whatnot, that talked him out of it. A former teammate was able to get him to come to Atlanta. You look at what he did to bring his teammate in here, because DJ Chalk was a great receiver at LSU, a bit of a journeyman in his career because of the fact that injuries are an athlete's worst enemy. And when you look at what happened to him, he's a talented receiver. Pretty much you got Darnell Mooney all over again. That's really what he is, because Mooney was banged up like that in Chicago. And you see what he did in Atlanta last year. So you're giving a guy another chance, another place to go to, and he's got a familiar face here. A familiar face. That right there could pay dividends. K-Dub, how do you go with the J Chalk coming in here with 4.3 speed? Definitely is a good player, but just needs a chance really just to stay healthy. And now he's got Penix to throw to him. What do you think this guy's going to bring to the table with this offense?
Well, like I say, he's an established veteran in this league, and pay dividends right now. He's paying dividends because he's out. But I think he's going to be an asset to this offense. Like you said, we brought Mooney in, and he was a little banged up coming to Chicago. But we strike gold on players like that. And once he picks up the lingo and the terminology that we have here in Atlanta, he's going to be running full speed. Like I say, GA Texas boy was talking about Scary Terry. We don't need a Scary Terry if DJ works out, and Scary Terry would actually be a little bit too much for our budget right now. So, but I'm hoping that he gets his money. I think it was just a standoff. I think I don't really think he's really trying to leave the Commanders, but that just that's probably what his agent, so they can get their money and get the deal done. But it is what it is. I don't think we need to go after him, but I think the DJ Chark was a nice budget type of move, another move that Terry makes that goes under the radar, especially if this guy comes in and catches like 6, 7, 8 yards this year for pennies or something like that nature. But
Terry, but here's the thing. Terry wants to, and this is just the honest to God truth. I agree with you on that. Terry has gone through multiple quarterbacks, gone through a lot being in DC. And now you got a Jaden Daniels that's there. And let's just be honest, he had an MVP-like season last year. Jaden Daniels and Michael Penix were the two best quarterbacks that came out of that draft. And you can't deny Jaden Daniels because we saw that firsthand last year when we played against the Washington Commanders. The boy is talented because me and K-Dub, when the draft was going on, K-Dub wanted Penix. I wanted Jaden Daniels because I knew what Jaden was going to do. But either way, we're good either way because even me and myself and K-Dub said, if we got either one of those guys, either one, it didn't matter. Yeah. We were going to light it up. Our thing was we just needed to get one of them. We got Penix. I'm happy with him. You know what I'm saying? I think the kid is going to be great. But at this point, I don't think Terry, I'm with you on that, K-Dub. I don't think Terry wants to leave one of the up-and-coming stars in the league and put himself in a position where he's got to start over because Washington was just in the NFC Championship game last year. And they added pieces to that team to keep continuing to trend upwards. Like, that would make no sense. Like, it would be nice to have him here in Atlanta, but the money is too much for number one. For number two, let's be honest. Right now, we're still an enigma. We're still a bit unknown in a sense. We show flashes of things, but we're a bit of an enigma at this point. That's just me.
I mean,
I know it's crazy, but I think we're a bit of an enigma at this point, bro. Until we get right.
Yeah, I understand those sentiments, but the key thing is what I'm saying is that I just feel like Terry is always about trying to save money, and he like deals like that. So picking up a DJ Chark is right along his alley. Going after a Scary Terry is kind of like more like going after Kirk Cousins. It's kind of like kind of risky, more risky because of the money, because he can get here and get hurt, and then you're like, oh my God. Well, not this again. And we've blown a lot of money. So I like the DJ Chark move. His first interview, he sounded ready to go. He's grateful for the opportunity that Easton Sticks stuck his neck out for him and said bright and glowing things about him coming here to Atlanta. So I think it's sometimes you just get to the right place in the right room, and you can heal. So I think him and Mooney together, with Mooney coming back, it just makes that wide receiving core just so dangerous. You're gonna see you've seen it in Washington. He's about to make it rain out here. These guys stay healthy, he's gonna make it rain. That's what he do, is get it downfield. So you'll see the best of Michael Penix. They got to keep him upright. Just continue to block it, keep it blindside McGarry from another Husky to another Husky. You got to keep the man upright, man. That's the key thing. So,
and my thing is, if he don't keep him upright, you got Storm Norton that did well when McGarry wasn't in last year. And then you got the guy that we drafted last in the draft was Jack Nielsen. Definitely not last when you're talking about a guy that is destructive, a guy that's violent, and he comes from a football pedigree with his dad being a former offensive lineman in the NFL. So he understands the intricacies of the game, and he also understands pretty much, hey, I got a chance to take somebody's job right now that hasn't been consistent the whole time they've been here. So it's a bit of a crack right now.
I think Jack Nelson's going to be, I like the guy. Like I said, I met him. I got his autograph, but he's a big guy. I think he's going to be like the ultimate second string guy. He's going to be backing up everybody. Whoever needs him, who needs some rest. Because he's a guy that can play up and down the line. So
I agree with you.
He's going to be a very valuable piece. So I just think I like his size, I like his demeanor, and the school he came out of. I just think this is going to be one of the best drafts that the Falcons had in a very long time, and possibly ever, altogether from top to bottom.
Wait a
Even
minute.
though it's only five guys.
Hold up. The best draft that we ever had was in 1980, sir. I'm sorry. I got to say that because
I didn't say the best ever. I said in the
draft. I think this draft compares with that draft, but the reason I say it is because think about it. When have you had that? I mean, outside of what we had, majority of that defense in 1980 or whatnot was a bunch of rookies. They had more rookies on that team than we had on this team. You get what I'm saying? And for them to have one of the best records that year, and Steve Bartkowski, he got beat out by Brian Sipe for the MVP, but I think Bartkowski definitely should have been in the runnings for that, if you really want to be honest. Even though Brian Sipe, won that MVP that year, rightfully so, with the cardiac kids with the Browns back then. You look at that defense in 1980, the Grits Blitz defense had matriculated and became a bit more violent and a little bit faster with those young guys that they brought in with a mixture of vets. And now that you're seeing that with this team now, you're seeing a lot of these young guys that are coming in, and you're seeing some of these vets are welcoming a lot of these young guys to make their job a lot easier. But speaking about older guys, let's talk about Terry Fontenot. He's addressing the futures for players' contracts. You got Pitts coming up. You're going to have Drake London coming up, and you could possibly get out of Kirk Cousins' contract next year. Terry, and this is short and sweet. In the press conference, Terry said, we'll address that at a later time. I'm not worried about the contracts right now. I'm worried about these guys playing at this point. And that is something that you have to do at this point. You have to worry about the product that's on the field, the money and the business that's going to take place in the offseason. But we also got to make sure that when we get these guys, that if we choose to re-sign them, are they going to continue to put out and produce? Because you get some guys that can possibly play their butts off on pay year, get that money, and then it's over with. And you don't see him anymore. Devontae Freeman is a great example of that. And then you also got to look at Desmond Trufant. That's another example of that. So when you sit back and you think about it, we really have to make sure that the money is going to be allocated into great investments that are we're going to pay. We're going to get dividends off of it. And so far, it's only a few people that I say that I feel as if they should pay. That's just my opinion on that, K-Dub.
Well, like I say, man, you have a lot of great points you're making with that. And like I say, these players are going to ask for money. You're going to make, but it's about risk. That's why I say you try to get the right makeup of type of players. Don't know what guys are going to once they get big payday. Sometimes it's just a risk and a gamble. It could be a true fund situation. It could be a Devontae Freeman situation, but we're hoping that they produce, like, once we gave Matt Ryan the money the first and second time, not the third time, but every time it doesn't always work out. Sometimes you don't get the return on your investment. Like sometimes they sign these artists out here and they can't produce the hits, and they $1 advance and they can't do anything. So sometimes it's just a risk when you put money behind people. It happens with organizations. And even in my field, in the restaurant business, you can put people behind a restaurant, put money behind a guy, and you think this concept is going to work, and it doesn't work. I mean, it happens all the time. So I just hope that we got the right makeup. It looks like we got the right makeup of people that we brought into the organization. I just hope that we're not too clean cut, like we talk past, and we're not too cookie cutter. It looked like James Pierce got that edge and that dog in him where he want to turn it up a little bit out there. Ain't scared. So we got to do is hopefully the guys don't let them leave him up when he do get into some fisticuffs with some of these other teams, because this is gonna happen. They've heard about it. If we've heard about it, other teams heard about it, that he likes to mix it up. But we got to have we got to let those guys back him up when he gets into it, man, because we tired of everybody trying to walk over the foul. We want to stand up for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And represent like we do in this music industry, represent that thing on the field too, man.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it's gonna take a minute for us to get respect on the football field, because let's be real, the music game for Atlanta has been around less than pretty much the Falcons at this point. And a lot of people aren't talking about it, but let's be honest, man. When you look at the Falcons and you look at what they're bringing to the table or whatnot, you got pretty much over 50 years of misery. You get what I'm saying? You got over 50 years of misery. And at this point, all you can do is just sit back and say, well, it's nuts. You know, when you look at it, I think the toughest thing for Falcon fans at this point is you gotta be able to walk. You can't have thin skin being a Falcon fan. You got to be able to walk with your head high, your chest out. You know, one of my favorite Falcon hats was stolen by a member in the chat right now. I'm not gonna mention you by name. Yeah, you stole one of my favorite Falcon hats or whatnot back in the day. I didn't give it to you. Let me stop cutting up. I appreciate this. I just got the clown with one of the folks in the chat. But outside of that, though, let's be honest, K-Dub. Looking at the Falcons at this point, we just got to win. Point blank, period. That's the only way you're going to get respect. You just win. And if you're not winning, you're not going to get no respect. How can you expect people to take you serious when you cannot win games that you're supposed to win? When you cannot seal the deal and hold on to a division? Yeah, we got a new season. We have expectations now. We saw that we could walk through the division with the talent that we had last year. This year, you got to kick the damn door in and pretty much hold everybody. You got to hold everybody hostage at this point. You know, you pretty much got to let folks know you know you can't come in there with foolishness. You got to come in there just right. As the late great Bernie Mac say, you know, I ain't come for no foolishness. You know, matter of fact, I just sit back and I just think about it, and all you can do is just, I ain't coming for no foolishness. That's what you got to tell them. You ain't come for no foolishness. You coming to put your foot on their neck, and once you put your foot on their neck, you just pretty much take what's in their pockets and you keep it moving. That's all I'm saying. So all we can do is continue to keep laughing at people that continue to laugh at us. But when you get JPJ getting a lot of airtime, you hear about Jalen Walker, you hear about this defense. We got 5 primetime games, and NFL Network has been talking about us, and Good Morning Football has been talking about us since this new regime came in here. It's something happening, folks. And if you wasn't, and I'm going to say this honestly, and we can move to the next topic. If you wasn't riding with us from the start, don't jump on the bandwagon now. We ain't taking no applications. Keep it moving. Because y'all damn sure jumped off the bandwagon when Vic left. Y'all trashed, you know, you jumped off the bandwagon when we lost. If you either gonna ride with us till the wheels fall off. Don't just jump on and jump off the cabbage wagon. That's just me. But moving on, because we'll be in here talking about that the whole time. The Falcons today, the other day had an article where it said why it matters that the Falcons upgraded their playmaking on defense. K-Dub, what was it that you felt as if, and we've talked about it, but I want people to hear you say it. What is it that we lacked with the Falcons when it came to this defense, and what type of upgrades did we have?
We were lacking a pass rush, and we were lacking being able to get off the field on third downs and fourth downs, man, in the back end. So we improved that by going to get 2 of the best ball hawks in college football on the back end, and bringing in Billy Bowman and Xavier the Watts out there. So, hey, look, man, and then they addressed the pass rush. They were very aggressive. They went up and even spent the next year's first round pick. I mean, they went and addressed those guys, brought in some straight dogs, and I think we're going to have a lot of rookie star team like we did in 2016, and we're going to go back to that particular type of motion and see what it pulls out for the city of Atlanta, man. I think these guys are ready. They brought in some captains. They brought in some guys that are dialed in, is ready to go get it. And I just feel like if they stay healthy, we got to get Jalen Walker back out there with that minor hamstring injury. But we get everybody back out there firing on all cylinders with the mix of the vets that we have, the Onyemadas, the
Morgan Foxes, the
Morgan Foxes, I'm trying to think of
you got
J's out there in the world.
You got KD Bertrand,
Bankhead Bates.
Yes,
You got
sir.
JD. I think Bertrand gonna be a Pro Bowler. I just something about Bertrand just look like he gonna just do something this year. So
We call
we're
him
gonna
Captain
see.
America.
We got
We call him Captain America. He's an all-American boy. That's why we call him that. He looked like an action figure.
Okay, well, Captain America. I just think Captain America gonna do something. I just like JD Bertrand game, but we're gonna make some noise, man. But the key thing is trying to just harness ourselves, trying to be humble and patient, and wait for the season to unfold. You know, I love to talk about Atlanta and the Falcons. So we're gonna have some time to talk our mess this year. We open up against Tampa. It'd be good to smack the division champs, even though we gave it to you. It'd be good to smack them week 1. And I just barely beat them. I'm talking about smack them hard. Then you get the league, back on the right side of thinking. Like, man, okay, these guys mean business.
You know what you should. You know what we need to tell them. K-Dub, you know what we need to tell Tampa. We just got to tell them this.
I got one thing to say. This is my house. I built this, and this is my house.
You not coming in Atlanta. We already let y'all know what it was last year. Here's my thing. I don't fear Tampa. We swept Tampa last year with Kirk Cousins. You sweep Tampa with Kirk Cousins. Imagine what Penix is going to be able to do to that defense. And yeah, they upgraded in certain spots, but they still are lacking a lot on that defense. And what helps us out at this point is Desmond Watson, that big defensive tackle that was at Florida, hasn't even touched the field because he's got to lose weight. And let's be honest, I think that he's a solid player, but let's just be real. The physical trainer and the University of Florida did that kid a disservice. This man showed up at 400 and something pounds. He's lost about 40, 50 pounds. He still got to lose about another 40 pounds. He was literally around 450 when he got to the league. So that pays dividends for us because guess what? We like to run the football. Vita Vea has already been hell for us already. He's already been hell for us trying to run on Tampa. He's definitely going to get his. But if you add another 300 and something pounder there, it's going to be real tough to get the inside run going. And that pretty much limits us to being able to run perimeter runs, counters, traps, or even Bob Trey O's. Pretty much big on big. That's what Bob means or whatnot. When you hear that term, big on big, Bob Trey O. That's pretty much a run play. But getting into it,
we throw it out the backfield.
And that right there also helps because when we play Tampa week 1, they're not going to be at full strength. They've lost players already. Now, the only thing we have to do is really not let Emeka Ibuka get off. Mike Evans is going to be Mike Evans. That's a Hall of Fame wide receiver. First ballot, if you ask me. But Emeka Ibuka, the kid out of Ohio State, he's going to be very dangerous. And you got Chris Godwin coming back with that ankle injury from last season. We have to test him mentally. He's running around because you got guys trying to dive and take you out. Big difference. Your team isn't going to try to take you out. But I sit back and I just think that everything is going to be good. And I think that we're going to be straight in that first game of the season. The defense, to me, I feel as if they have to make a statement in the first 5 weeks of the season. They have to make a statement to let everyone know that we're not playing patty cake with you. We pretty much just going to hit you in the mouth. And we're just gonna keep this thing going. Well, look who rolled in on the El Pony Express today. Man, we can barely see your face, Great Big. You coming in here on CP time, boy. Lord Jesus. But you know what? I can't do you like that. I just gotta go ahead and I can't do you like that, Great Big. I just gotta go ahead and just let you have it. You got it, bro. I'm gonna leave you alone today. I'm gonna be nice today. We need a little bit more light though, because all we see is a silhouette. That's all we see. But while Graybeard is getting adjusted, K-Dub, let's talk about the next subject. Now we were speaking about defense and whatnot. The Falcons tried out today, worked out former top draft pick CJ Henderson. it was picked between AJ Terrell, and you had some fans that wanted CJ Henderson coming out of school. And CJ Henderson's been around and hasn't really lived up to the expectations, but he's a good player. And if Jerry Gray was to get him, that pretty much brings more depth here. And we need as much depth at that cornerback spot as we can get, because we're going to be rotating. We're going to be rotating heavy this year. So if CJ Henderson comes along, if the price is right, bring him in for depth purposes. But at this point, you know, right now we're just trying to figure some things out. But if they don't bring CJ Henderson in, I'm not going to lose no sleep over it. What up?
Like I said, you know, that's what 330. What's up? No, that was like the same thing I was saying, is they brought in the extra receiver help I was talking about a couple weeks ago, and bringing in DJ Chark. And I think, you know, bringing in CJ Henderson, just kicking the tires on him to see if that's that depth we need to back in for his cornerbacks. That'd be great. But, you know, we're going to see, like I said, thing to bring him in and see how it's working. I don't know how it went. I don't know if that information came out, but we'll see if he gets signed or not. But it'd be great. You said we got back there, one of the best in the business, teaching on the back end. And we're going to need all the help we can, because, you know, teams like spread out in this league right now, 5, 6 wide, you know, and do all kinds of things with the tight end. So we have to be got a couple on that back end. So all the more the merrier for cornerbacks to help us out on that back end. So CJ Henderson or whoever it may be, I'm off.
I was gonna say 15 minutes look like half an hour to me. Yeah, I'm finna throw some shots today. Now I'm just messing with you. Hey, so what you got, man? We pretty much have already gone through Madrid. Let's talk with the CJ Henderson side.
I couldn't hear you, getting a little bit chopped up. But talking about CJ Henderson, you know, he a journeyman now. So for me, man, I'm just looking at it for depth purposes, man. I don't see nothing wrong if we like you said before, for the right price. Yeah, bring him along, man, because we're gonna need that constant rotation, especially we trying to make this deep playoff run. Because I think one of the things that the Falcons missed, especially on that 2016 team, is depth. When we have that depth, you can sort of feel, and you know, players stepping up and whatever, how far we can go in the playoff. So yeah, man, if for the right price, man, and he can pick up the system, yeah, go for it. But like I'm like you, I won't lose any sleep if we don't get him, because we got players, we got an undrafted free agent and other players as well that pretty much fighting right now just to get for their 53-man spot and the practice squad. So it is what it is.
I'm gonna tell you like this. I don't want no more sorry ass Florida Gators on this team.
Oh, here we
I
go.
can leave CJ Henderson in the trash can for all I care.
Here we go.
Now look, normally I'm hosting, but I had to have a fan moment just now. That was a fan moment that came out. Normally I don't have too many fan moments, but I'm gonna have a fan moment. The only thing that came out of Florida that was worth a damn, for me, and we saw the longevity, was Joe Hayden. Joe Hayden. Just gonna be real with you on that. Dante Fowler was stealing paychecks. Right now, the verdict is still out on Kyle Pitts at this point. I don't give a damn about effort, right? I don't give a damn about the hype and the hoopla right now. I don't, because I need production. I need results. Now, I'm throwing this out here because we hear all this foolishness about, I'm going to keep this a buck. Florida has not been producing studs like that since Urban Meyer was there, if we going to be honest. They produce journeyman type players. Keanu Neal didn't last that long here, but y'all pray that it wasn't the best safety that we ever had to come through here. He had a couple of hard hits, but he couldn't stay healthy. So again, that's part of his legacy. The man was bounced around like a blunt in a Snoop Dogg video. Let's keep that a buck.
Tickle.
K-Dub, I think you frozen, bro. All I'm saying is this, man. Tease Tabor was another one that they had high expectations for, and he got cooked. He got cooked, and he was in our division. And people were saying, bring him here. Hell no. The only thing I would bring here from Florida at this point would be Duval County's own Pup Howard, good linebacker, or I would bring in that kid Sapp, the defensive lineman. Other than that, leave that swamp BS down there with them swamp creatures down there in Gator Country. Keep that BS down there. That's where I'm at with it.
Football in the air, ladies and gentlemen.
Alabama in that rack with me as well. Think about it. You know, we got gamblers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm speaking on it. And then when you also look at it, you know, we saw what happened to Julio. Julio was a dog and was one of the best that we ever had. But my thing is, if you go draft certain players from certain schools, and I think we have I think our scouting department has updated when it upgraded and updated when it's come to scouting and being able to evaluate talent. You're just not just gonna bring no dumpster juice in here. You got to stop that. Just the truth. Yeah. You got to stop bringing dumpster juice to Atlanta, man. Look, the only thing Atlanta really does not have is the beach. Not a man-made beach. I'm talking about a real beach. Yeah, other than that, everything that you have in Atlanta, from history, museums, schools, sports, you have everything in the city. That's all I'm saying. If you bring a winning football team into this city, the Braves have been holding it down for this city for years. To me, I feel like this. As long as we were winning division titles in the playoffs and was relevant, they can fall off for a little bit. They can do that because that was over 20 years of dominance. I'm fine with that. But I'd like for them to get back on track too. But the Hawks and the Falcons, y'all owe us. Y'all owe us big time as fans.
They owe big time.
A lot.
For all the heartbreak that we've taken, for all the embarrassment that we've taken, y'all owe us.
Yeah.
Y'all owe us fans. And you owe people that's been riding with these teams for 20 years plus and having to hang their heads in shame. I never hung my head in shame at all. I'm still going to talk trash. But at the end of the day, it's just like this, man. Stop bringing these has-been players up here. Stop.
Yeah.
If you're going to bring in guys that are going to bring value to this team.
Like Dwight Freeney.
Facts. To me, I feel like Matthew Judon would have thrived in this defense that we got. If you want to be honest, Jimmy Lake used him in pass coverage.
Big mistake.
I hated
don't know, man.
No.
I've seen some. I was looking at some of the rushes that Judon had. It looked like he ain't got picked up by nobody else. So that's a telltale sign right there.
But here's the thing, though. After a season like he had in Atlanta, would you blame anybody for picking him up?
And it's not even his fault, Mo.
I mean, I understand what you're saying. I mean, you make a lot of sense, but I'm just saying he hasn't got picking up.
But let's be real. He was one of the top defensive players on this team at the beginning of the season. Jimmy Lake screwed him up by dropping him into coverage and not letting this man play in the run game or play a pass rusher, which he was supposed to do for us last year. That wasn't technically okay. Now, he let himself get out of shape because he got pissed off and depressed. But at the same time, you got to put that on Jimmy Lake because that was one of your best pass rushers, and Arnold Ebiketie got better because of that guy.
No. I mean, I feel like he misused him. I'm just being devil's advocate. I'm looking at it like I just feel like we fell for the banana in the tailpipe with this guy.
Well, you can say. Well, we can say that. Hey, Detroit's actually about to sign him, bro. Thank you, April, because I was getting ready to mention that. So somebody was finna get him, and Detroit got a hell of a front seven anyway.
Detroit about to sign who? Judon?
Yep, and they're getting ready to add him to that front seven that they already have. That's a problem.
If this man get about 9 or 10 sacks, then it's definitely Jimmy Lake.
Exactly.
Hey, look, if he go get 9 or 10 sacks, I stay on the Birdcage. I was wrong, but we're gonna find out. Okay?
Look, you already know I'll be an apologist to Kyle Pitts. I told you that. But if the dude don't show out this year, I want everybody that's been in here saying I was hating, because I'm not hating. I call a spade a spade. Steve Weiss came in here and said it, and I agree with him. And I said it before he said it. Our fan base is the most sensitive fan base in the league. The league. And it's true.
Yeah.
We got to get thicker skin. Some of us have it, but for the majority, think about it, man. Detroit went 0-16 at one point. Detroit
did.
was horrible. You got Cleveland fans that get laughed at, and they are still supporting that team.
Oh, they got heart.
Thank you.
Cleveland fan got heart. I gotta give him credit.
And it was something K-Dub said in the chat the other day, and I agree with him on this because I saw it. Most Falcon fans come up to the game. Now here's the problem. When we were winning, we still pack it out. Everybody's walking around, but I'm gonna be honest with you. When we lose, or we literally still let too many people from other fan bases drown us out in our house sometimes. Now that is the problem. Now we show up, but we're walking around the stadium like we're in the club.
I mean,
they think the Benz is the club, man. It's not for football no more.
It wasn't like that.
I wish we would have never moved out of Fulton County Stadium. We still would have had a stadium like that where you're forced to watch the game.
It wasn't like that at the Dome that much, though. The Dome wasn't that bad.
Because the Dome was built at a time where they ain't had all these bells and whistles. It was just a dome. It wasn't.
Thank you.
Exactly.
When you go to Mercedes-Benz, that thing got all the bells.
Oh yeah, I know. Oh, I know.
So
definitely.
I mean, you can get easily distracted. But I've just been in there so many times. I know I'm here to watch football. Now, the first couple times I went in there, I was starstruck. But now that I'm a veteran, I just go in there and I'm ready to see the game, man. I don't need to see all this extracurricular crap.
Man, let's keep this real. The hell with that. I'm about to be a fan again. Let me hold up.
Go ahead and put the back out.
The historian has departed. That boy Rashay in the building now. So I'm gonna tell you just like this here. As a fan, I'm a fan of the game. I don't give a damn about y'all coming in there with chains on. Y'all got your Gucci suits and all this here. Man, y'all go to hell. And I stand on it. Y'all can go to hell.
Don't tell them to go to hell.
No, if y'all coming to the game, support the Falcons. That is why you buy a ticket. If you want to stunt like that, carry your ass to the club. You got Magic City right up the street. Get you some of them wings. You know, throw a little bit of that money at the shoe models that's up in there. Shout out to the shoe models, by the way. But also, all I'm saying is this. If you're going to sit here and come into this stadium and you're saying that you're a Falcon fan, be a fan. Support this team. If you've been there long enough, come on, man. You have to be able to ride with this team. Don't just ride when they're winning. Like, damn, watch the game.
I mean,
like, everybody's worried about what's going on around, man. No, I'm right in the stadium. I went to the Dallas game. You know, K-Dub, you was there. And I can honestly say that, you know, we were loud and proud in there, but them damn Cowboy fans was just loud as hell. And I said, it's no way that they should have, you know, been just as loud as us in that game.
I can't stand the Cowboys, but they got one of the most loyal fan bases I ever.
They just deep. They just deep.
They
travel deep. And then Atlanta to turn into, we used to be loud and proud the Crunk era, but Atlanta is so bougie now.
It's bougie.
They're like, that's beneath me to yell about the Falcons.
Oh, like I got looked at crazy. So you know why I was sitting at the game.
They looking at me crazy. I don't give a poop.
Bro, think about this, K-Dub. I was sitting down at, you know, where I was sitting at that lower level. When I shout out to my Aunt Joyce, she hooked me up. Her and my Uncle Dennis hooked us up with some tickets or whatnot. We did our thing and had a great time. But I'm standing there yelling. They looking at me like I'm crazy. I said, what y'all looking at? Get on your feet and chill. This the reason why most people don't want to come here. Yeah, they say the energy is there, but I'm just telling you from standing there, I'm loud. I'm an SEC fan first. Let's get this straight. I know what real energy is as a dog fan. Let's get that straight.
Hanford Stadium, man.
They get you. That's the training ground right there.
That's the training ground right there. Georgia was the training ground. But when you get to the Falcons or whatnot, I grew up, and K-Dub, you did too. We all grew up. I got to go to 2 games in Fulton County Stadium when I was a jitterbug, when I was young. I remember it was a sign that used to say, if it ain't red, it's dead. We act bad and we're black on Sundays. It used to be banners in the stadium like that. Fans would sneaking liquor in the stadium and cutting up. See, I remember that part of Fulton County Stadium as a kid over there in the legendary Summer Hill area, by the way. I'm just saying, nah, you can't be stealing that, Millie Mill. I can't let you do that. So y'all got to be careful for these folks that's up north. That's a Delaware cat right there. You got to be careful of my dog. You know, they just like Philly folk. They They'll slide one on you quick. Shout out to Millie Mill out there in Delaware doing this thing. But let's be real, fellas. When we look at this team as a whole, we have a lot of things that we lacked as fans, but this team has also lacked it too. But there's a guy who's brought this back, and Jalen Walker's going to be another one because those two young rooks, they come from teams that believe in toughness on defense. Jalen Walker, but JPJ has turned into an Evander Holyfield on the field. Let's keep it a buck. He's slapping people on the field. He getting in scuffles. Hell, he tried to fight Leonard Floyd on the defense with him. We might have a Debo on this team, ladies and gentlemen.
Fine.
I mean, I just like his passion. I mean, he said, "I'm just trying to get these offensive linemen ready, man." I say it's still my brothers. I like his demeanor. He's like, "Hey, look, I'm not scared to rile this thing up. It's not gonna be hunky dory here. We playing a full contact sport, and we finna go all out here. We at practice, we gonna get to make the most of these practices. So get ready. If you don't like, you ain't gonna like it the rest of this season because every time you see me at practice, I'm coming for you. I like it."
I mean, I like the energy. I mean, this is why we drafted
Those two
guys, because we needed that edge. We needed that grit that we haven't had in a few years. It's that toughness. I still remember when Aaron Donald came to the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, picked up Devontae Freeman like a toddler and walked him back 5 or 6 yards, and the offensive line just did this.
Freeman was the only one that tried to fight him.
And that's my problem. The little guy on the field had the most heart. So I don't. JPP is okay in my book. Get these boys ready. Iron sharpens iron. Get that edge. So when week 1, we won't start flat like we get against Pittsburgh because TJ Watt took us to school. One man took us to school on the defensive side of the ball.
I'm gonna do a little something different tonight. I know we getting into it. If y'all can sit around for a few more minutes, it'll be cool because normally we do an hour 15. If y'all give me at least 20 more, we gonna let the fans come up in here because I want to hear what they gotta say because it's real active in the chat right now, and we definitely want y'all to come in here. And I dropped the link. If you want to come in here, come in here. But I'm gonna give you this here. Like it's getting to the place where we got to go back to the days of bringing the Lawrence Taylor type of attitudes back. JPJ might not play like LT, but he damn sure got a mindset. And, you know, speaking of LT, I got to play one of my favorite sound bites from Mr. Lawrence Taylor, one of the greatest to ever do it. Just, if you ever heard this clip before, you'll get it. Hold on.
Hey, baby, let's go out there like a bunch of crazy dogs and have some fun.
As he said, it's going down like a bunch of crazy dogs. Let's have some fun. Understand that.
I remember that.
Whooping ass when he did that. They was literally beating the hell out of, and you know, shout out to the New York Jets because they had me there today. But
belt the ass that day.
Yeah. And the craziest thing, and I'm gonna bring you up in a sec, Ron. The craziest thing I saw was when LT sacked Ken O'Brien. He gets up, he said, "Son, y'all gotta do better than this." And he got up and walked off. That's the type of attitude I need with my defenders when they sack these quarterbacks.
Hey man, I'll bring it like WWE, man. We need to bring back that attitude era to Falcon football, man. We just need that edge, man. We need that grit. We need them boys that will swing on you in a heartbeat to let people know, man, we ain't cough no more. Dicking the ATL, man. We ain't bougie around here, man. We get it in and we hustle out here and we grind. That's what the people want, man. I guarantee you, if we bring that Falcon back, I guarantee you, man, a lot of stuff will change.
What's good, Ryan?
Rob, what's up, man?
Outside of you bombarding me with folks I don't deal with on the regular when it comes to some of these podcasts, you want to send me stuff. You want to, I got to say something about that. You my boy, but I was hot. No, it's some of these cats that I just don't like. Tonight is one of them nights. I'm in rare form tonight. So you can't keep sending me folks that you know I don't deal with, bro. I don't wish no ill will, but you got to stop sending me these folks, man. They don't ride with us like that, and they supposed to be Falcon fans too.
My bad, dog.
So Ron, what you got, man?
There he is.
And we got the cricket deacon up in here, man.
There we go, John.
Ryan, how long you been knowing me?
Long enough.
Because I've been saying this, right? I've been saying we need that attitude back. I've been saying it. Ever since you met me 5 years ago, I've been saying that.
Oh, yeah.
I've been saying we need to get those boys from the SEC. We finally got 2 of them. Now people are afraid of them. They're doing too much. We talking about football. Football. They're doing too much at practice. Let time check this football. I've been saying we were soft a long time ago. Our defense and offensive line soft.
Mm-hmm.
Now we got attitude players that will put their foot up your, you know what?
You ain't lying.
Hey, I'm with you when you're right. In this situation, hey, Ron, I'm gonna let you grab the steering wheel. I'm gonna sit back for a little bit. I'm letting you have that one because we all been preaching this for years.
Right.
And that man is down beneath me right now. He's right below me right now.
Oh, yeah.
He's standing on
This
business.
man been standing on business with me for a long time with this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now,
So,
and I'm gonna let John cook because I already know he got something.
So
but go ahead, Ryan. What else you got for us?
I love the attitude with JPJ bringing. I love everything that man bringing.
Mm-hmm.
Now I want somebody to mess with him during the game. I want somebody to mess with him. But we need that attitude.
Mm.
We need to show that NFL we're not scared no more. We're not that soft team. It started at the top.
I agree.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I was just saying that earlier, man. I'm ready to see, because I know somebody gonna go at them because they heard about what we doing the camp.
Right.
And then I need them other guys come right behind them. Like, hey, look, this
we got
is
your
it.
back, man. We got your back.
I want to be one of them national TV games. Like, oh, hey, we ain't playing this.
It's a mindset, man. That's all it is, man. We need to break that mind.
Right. That JPJ doing, getting his mind right on the football field right now. Everything else going to crumble. Everybody else want to follow him on that defensive line. I love it.
I'm not mad at that at all because when you look at this kid, and the thing is, he's played with a chip on his shoulder the whole time, and he's a guy that's getting ready to just attack folks. If you watched when Tennessee was playing when he first came in as a freshman, a little undersized, but the attitude and the heart was there, and you saw it.
Yeah.
You saw it. Now, he didn't really get too off against the Georgia. He didn't get off too much against the Georgia Bulldogs. He made some plays, but we were in rare form at that time when we was beating them down. But
the Alabama games, he got off.
Games, oh yeah,
he got off big time.
So I gotta ask. So welcoming back to the cage. It's been a long time coming, like Sam Cooke says. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it is. Come on, John. Come on in here, Deke. What's up? What you got for us? The crooked deacon has arrived. And John coming in here telling y'all he don't want no foolishness.
I ain't coming for no foolishness.
What you got, John?
Gentlemen, good evening. Let me tell you something here. I salute the Atlanta Falcons for one reason and one reason alone. I went up to Flowery Branch and it was 90 degrees at 8:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
It was hog scalding time at 8:30. I stayed up till 10:30 and watched them practice, but I had to holler Red Rock. I had to let them go. But man, man, look at here. 5,000 people out there on Saturday, 6,000 people out there on Sunday. Don't ever let it be said that these fans won't come, that these fans are not invested, that these fans are not real deep in this thing here. You sold them something. They saw what you did on draft night, and see, draft night is the only reason them people out there right now.
Fact.
Draft night.
For real.
What they did on draft night, that's why those people out there. You know, and man, I'm telling you, the fighting going on in training camp in the first week. They fighting in the first week. Doggone offensive line. Oh, he pushed me down.
Yeah.
Boy, you better get your. You better get your.
It's only one. Let's be real. And I said this when he came here, and everybody thought I was crazy when I said this. And these guys on the panel can attest to this. I told everybody Nate Bergeron is a nasty customer. Haven't I been saying that since he been here? Him and JPJ literally got into it. Now Bergeron ain't no punk. We all know this.
Yeah.
Bergeron is no punk.
But I like.
Yeah.
And it comes from both of them though.
And I like both of them. But the beautiful part about it is it goes back to it, man. And I'm gonna be a little bit of a historian. John, you remember a quarterback by the name of Joe Cap that used to play for the Vikings back in the day. Joe Cap got into it with Vikings linebacker Lonnie Walker. Definitely a tough customer back when them Vikings was nasty. They lost the game to the Green Bay Packers where they could have swept them. They both get pissed. They're telling each other, no, I lost the game. I lost the game. They're at a bar drinking tequila at that time. They were pissed. It was cold. They go outside. It's a little small fence with chicken wire. They stand on each side and they beat the hell out of each other. Literally. The next day they call each other. He says, Lonnie, how you feeling? My jaw's swollen. And Joe says, my left eye's closed. Let's go ahead and tell Bud Grant, Coach Bud Grant, rest in peace. Let's go ahead and tell Coach Grant there's nothing to it. Guess what? Joe said in America's Game Missing Rings, he said, I had to let the defense know that it was no punks and nobody was soft on this offense. We were just as tough or tougher than you. And that is the mindset that these Falcons have to have. Both sides of the ball got to be mean and tough. They can be together on Sunday, but let them boys fight it out during the week and let them get their work in during the week. That's where I'm at with it, John. How about you?
Well, I've always said, and I overuse this example, the San Francisco 49ers, when they went to practice, they were practicing against the best offense and the best defense in the National Football League because they were number one. If it wasn't them, they knew they had to be ready against Dallas because Dallas was right on their heels. And I go back even further than that. Man, the Bears, the Houston Oilers, where you had Kevin Kilbride and doggone
Buddy Ryan.
Betty Ryan.
They got
Kevin Kilbride and Matt Ryan. Buddy Ryan. Buddy Ryan fighting against each other during the game. And hey, you remember the stories used to go on that the offensive side of the ball could hear the defensive side of the ball talking about them bad or whatever. So when they came out, doom, 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 doom. Hey, that's what you got to get up there. See, thing is, I used to get thrown out from up there because I was acting a fool about this softness, about this cushion, about this. Oh, you'll get it right the next time. Don't worry about. Get it right now. Get it right now. You know, man, every time I hear that stuff, I get shivers up my spine because the coaches that I used to hang around and play with, man, they were insistent upon you getting it right then. I remember Dan Reeves one time up there, man, he had these jokers, and it was 2-a-days back then, had them run a play 20 times because they couldn't get it right. It was a goal line play. People were not filling the hole the way they were supposed to fill it. Dan Reeves was on that behind. But now, 2013 Falcons soft. They let a cornerback pop there, a quarterback in the first game of the season. They come up to the man and talk with him. Hey man, why did you do that? I really don't appreciate you doing that. Then about Then about a couple of hours later, I see the same type of scenario take place, and the Raiders doggone near ran the man up into the stand.
But you got to remember, look what organization you're talking about, John. You talking about
You
talking about let's get this straight. See, I had to turn my light up for this one. And see, I started to fade into the shadows. See, you're talking about the Raiders. The Raiders always was a rogue outfit. No one wanted them, but they was all pretty much they were misfits to everybody. But the one thing that Al Davis understood was people. He could get the best out of you, even if he didn't like you. It was just what it was. The man understood football. We got an owner that understands pretty much business, but he don't know football. Al Davis was X's and O's. That was the difference. He understood how to evaluate talent all the way up until his dying day. He just got back.
Baby.
Think about it. Who drafts a punter in the first round and that punter becomes a Hall of Famer? Rest in peace to Mr. Ray Guy, Georgia boy. Who drafts? I'm just saying, just think about it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. He drafted Sebastian Janikowski out of Florida State.
Yeah.
Janikowski had a howitzer for a leg. He's going to go in the Hall of Fame one day. So when you look at understanding the game of football, you really got to understand what the game of football is, man. Shout out to our boy Winston Maxwell, all the way in Jamaica. We see you, man. Appreciate you tuning in,
man.
1 month, one love.
Appreciate it, man. We definitely
Everything
love
Irie.
folks. And also shout out to our folks that's up in the Maple City area in Toronto who just subscribed to the show. Appreciate you guys up there in Canada,
welcome.
better known as Canada. But I mean, let's just be 100 with it, man. When you sit back and you look at it now, hey, you got a team that's just telling folks like, I ain't scared of you. You telling them you ain't scared of them. Just like Bernie Mac say, just I ain't scared of you. That's pretty much what we tell them. I ain't scared of you, mother. That's what it is now. At one point, John, it was a negotiation. I don't think you should hit my quarterback. No, it's like this. You touch my quarterback, you gonna come back with a broken arm or a broken leg. You choose. That's what the mindset is now.
But this is the football that we grew up on and watched over the years.
You got to get into the camera, Gray Beard. You all the way over to the right. There we go.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome.
Camera.
Welcome back. Y'all can hear me now. Can't hear me. But no, I'm just saying though, man. We got this is what we want at fan base. That fight, that grit, that look, bro. I slap eyes. Kind that we used to do back when we used to play high school. When we used to play high school, but we were the same way. So we understand that, man. Look, man, football is always gonna be violent. There ain't no cupcake. There ain't gonna be like, oh man, we want a taking trophy or whatnot. We want to win. We want to get the respect that we have not ever gotten. And so the only way you're gonna get that is, hey, you're gonna have to punch some people in the mouth, whether you like it or not, and that's what it's gonna be. Look at Philly. Look at all them dogs they got on Philly. And I mean that literally. Jalen Carter will fight people, bro. I'm like, that's his nature.
And you remember I told you this, and John, you didn't believe me. You said, I got to see it. I saw it at the college level. I saw how dominant they were. Because, you was hitting me up, and I was just telling you, I said, John, that Georgia defense was really like that. And I said, if we got anything from that defense to come to Atlanta, it's going to change the culture. It really would. Jalen Hurts himself said this. They went to a Super Bowl. Think about it. They lost because what happened? They didn't have a pass rush. And in that game, they led the season in sacks with Hassan Reddick and those guys. Had a great defense and didn't show up in that Super Bowl. Fast forward a few years later, Georgia boys that just won 2 natties, a few of them won 1. You bring Jalen Carter and the boys that won 2 on that Philly defense. They already had an offense, and then they grabbed Saquon Barkley. All right. And you pretty much saw they were going to beat you into submission. We are the only team that gave them a fight from start to finish. Truthfully, we won that game, thank God. But let's be honest, John, we shouldn't have won that game. That coach thought too much. All he had to do was hand it off to Saquon. The game was over.
No,
hand it off.
But Saquon could have. Saquon should have caught the ball.
Let's be real. That's the second example that we've seen. Just run the ball when you got 1 yard to get.
Mhm.
The
Yeah,
Seahawks.
well, and see, thing was, I'm thinking he wanted to punk us. I'm thinking he wanted to embarrass us.
Well,
And
Saquon
see,
was getting off on us that night.
oh yes,
all you do is catch the ball though. That was the first
now
down.
and see, I would have kind of been satisfied because of the fact that we hung with them, okay, but beating them
in their house,
up there
on
Monday night football.
On Monday Night Football. Now, see, I always tell people about the Falcons. Don't embarrass me on national television. Do not embarrass my city on national television. If I've seen a game where the Falcons have looked bad the week before and the next week we're going on national TV, I have called the NFL league office and told them, can't you find somebody else to play? Because the world does not need to see Falcon football this week. Because we stunk it up last week. We got to get some stuff together. And I got to go back to 1977.
Dang.
Ooh, Grits Blitz defense, the original Grits Blitz.
And the reason I have to go back there is because that fast forwards me back to the 1990s when the man took over as head coach. That defense did not play around. That defense didn't soften the blow and lay the quarterback down on the ground, with a pillow and a mint on top of the pillow. They tried to kill it. Okay? That the Jerry Glanville, a lot of people didn't like him. I loved him because when he came back here and took over this team in the 90s, 89, 90, he brought an attitude back to this team and back to this defense. Okay, that's the last time I saw, with the exception, I guess, of the 98 Super Bowl year, where we had a defense that just popped people, mugged people, mobbed people, and had an attitude with it. Especially with Scott Case back there as a safety. Man,
Case.
Woo!
This was Alabama 19. Remember this. When you talk about that 98 team, you had a guy that played in 4 Super Bowls and Cornelius Bennett with the Bills. And he understood what it looked like to get to a championship. Unfortunately, he could never get a ring. Bruce Smith and those guys, because everybody know Buffalo was hell at that time. And I'm gonna throw this out here. And this is something, K-Dub, you might actually like this. I'm gonna put this up, fellas. I would love for Zach Robinson to go back and look at that K-Gun offense, because I've told people, to me, Bijan is not like the Damian Tomlinson. To me, Bijan reminds me of Thurman Thomas, a guy that don't get talked about enough. Go back and look at that film of Thurman Thomas when Thurman was in his prime. You're talking about a guy who was a great route runner and he had a bum knee. Remember, he injured his knee right before he got out of college. He never had surgery on it. So he played on one wheel his whole career and was killing folks. You're talking about a great route runner, a guy that can run between the tackles, a guy that if you got in space, he could either run over you or run around you or run past you. Thurman was like that. Bijan's game is very identical to Thurman. They're the same size, pretty much same speed, and most people don't realize that Thurman played on AstroTurf his whole career, except when he was even when he was in college. So when you talk about, his nickname is Squatty, by the way, because how big, from the waist down, had some monster thighs. Bijan is a little bit faster than Thurman, but that game is exactly identical. I think we need to go into the K-Gun offense and the K-Gun offense is a 2-minute offense or whatnot, where the quarterback has a script of plays where he's just running them. And literally, with the way that Penix ran the 2-minute offense last year at the end of the game, I think instead of doing it at the end, start the game off like that to test the defense to see if they're going to jump back into their shell. And when you get ahead, then you start controlling the clock with Tyler Algier. That's my suggestion for our offense this year. What do y'all think?
Well, it was, if I may go first, if you guys
go ahead, John.
Go ahead, John.
Okay. Well, we had our version of it. We called it the red gun because he used to go into the 4 wide receivers just on 3rd down or whatever. Now, that's what the Falcons did anyway. And 4 wide receivers with a dangerous running back coming out of the backfield is even more potent than having 5 wide receivers up there because that running back is always an option.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got a mobile quarterback. You want to pick up some yards and you want to do something with it. I go along with that 100%. And I am very interested at this point. I'm very interested as to what they are going to do with Kyle Pitts because I don't know whether you guys brought it out tonight or not. They've been working him exclusively as a wide receiver. So there's some stuff in the game I'm thinking coming from my offensive coordinator this year.
You know why, John? I've been telling people this, and nobody didn't want to hear me when I said this. When they drafted Joshua Simon as an undrafted, they brought him in as an undrafted free agent. I've been telling people Simon is the truth. If he get that opportunity, John, put it this way: strong blocker, great in the red zone, can pick up big time yards, soft hands, and got a mean streak. And literally set records at South Carolina as a transfer player out of Western Kentucky and was nasty. He was Lenore Sellers' one of his top targets. So again, you bring a Michael Penix into the fold with a Josh Simon, I'm telling people, and you put Pitts as a mismatch in the red zone with this basketball team that we got at receiver, good luck trying to stop this offense. That's all I'm gonna say is good luck trying to stop this offense, because if you try to clamp the receivers, we got 2 backs for you in the backfield with Algier and Robinson who will hurt you, either one. So pick your poison.
I agree.
So we definitely appreciate you guys for tuning in. We wanted y'all to try to, and I'm sorry, no, the hell with it. K-Dub, get your point off, dog, because you was waiting patiently. I'm so sorry. Get your point off, bro. My fault.
Oh no, I really got a point, but like I say, close it out. It's one Falcons to do what they're supposed to do. They like I say, stay healthy. I'm keep on saying it every show because we already had Mooney go down, and then we got Jalen with a little minor hamstring injury. So we just want to try to stay healthy because the healthiest team and the hottest team at the end of the season is going to win the Super Bowl. So we got to stay healthy, continue to do the right things in practice, and I like their aggression coming out. And hopefully JPJ is not the only one, trying to mix it up out there. I mean, we got hopefully it permeates throughout the team. I don't want to keep seeing fights, but I do like to see their aggression, and those guys are using that time wisely. I don't think they practice enough time. I know they got the collective bargaining agreement. I just feel like they don't have enough time out there to really do what they need to do. But that's just me. I feel like I was like, dang, I know it's hot out here, but I was like, practice already. That's just me. But I guess they go at it every day. They go in the classroom and do that. I guess it works out because other teams can win with the same amount of time to practice. So that's just my opinion on it. That's it. That's all I got to say.
I agree on you. I agree with you on that. And I think the one thing that we're going to have to start doing when you talk about the Falcons is you got to close out games. That is something that we have to make sure that we do this year, because everything that you're saying is perfect. The aggression, the talent is here. The thing that has to be done, and I said this on Bumper to Bumper the other morning, and I mean this, it's a few things you got to have. Competency is number one. Competitiveness, and I coined the phrase DNP. Depth and preparation. Depth and preparation. Atlanta has some depth. I think we need to get a little bit more at certain positions, but I also understand how the roster shakes out. But we also have to be prepared for anything to happen this year.
Oh, yeah.
Period. Because the last thing you need to do is be caught with your pants down, because you saw what happened when Kirk, pretty much that whole saga went down with Kirk. Thank God we had Penix on the side. Thank God we had that, because we would have been in a position where you don't have a backup quarterback for this guy. We wouldn't even been able to try to at least compete at the end of the season. So
Heineke wasn't it.
Which brings up a question. Who plays quarterback in the preseason?
I'm giving Kirk all the reps. Kirk and Easton Stick. That's who I'm giving the reps to. And here's my thing. If I play Penix, it's got to be in the fourth game, in the last game, and not just the last game. The third game. You play him for at least 2 series. Not the whole game, 2 series, just so he get his feet wet. But I'm letting my backups play, because we already know that Penix is the man. I'm letting my backups play at this point.
Right.
Because, again, we got to have guys that's going to get pretty much game reps, because if anything happens, you see, like K-Dub said earlier, if Mooney goes down, hell, if DJ Chalk goes down, you still got Casey Washington. You still got Nick Nash. You still got Quincy Skinner. You still have you got Kadero Hodge.
Chris Blair.
You have Chris Blair. You have depth at that receiver position. The kicking position, we already know that Cool gonna get cut. That young buck putting that pressure on him.
And I love it.
And I'm okay. And I'm gonna say this to Young Way Cool. During the lean years, we appreciate you for winning a lot of games for us. But again, I'll say it lastly. This young kid that we got in, we got to see what he can do in a game situation, because it's easy to kick against air. Who's kicked against defenses before?
Yeah.
So let's see what this looks like, because if this kid can still kick 60+ yard field goals and do it consistently, sorry, Cool, you got to go. He's a lot cheaper than you. And at this point, we got to get you your walking papers. But speaking of walking papers, man, we're going to go ahead and give John his walking papers. We appreciate you coming into the show tonight. Tell the folks where they can find you at, John, please.
We are on every Wednesday nights at the Eye Test, 10 till whenever. We start off with Falcons content, and then, we just go where the wind floats the boat.
Y'all they get out of pocket out of that place, boy. Y'all look, if you're a person that likes stuff G-rated, don't go up in there, because they get nasty with it. Trust me.
Well, we flow in and out of the G content, but I paid for it. I paid to be able to go do that. But
oh, John, before I let you go, this is something the Birdcage is doing. I'm dropping this. We're gonna have a meeting about it. But ladies and gentlemen, if you were able to attend the party last year, we appreciate that. We're going to be doing something new this year. I'm going out on a limb, and I'm going to step out here and say this. Falcons are going to the playoffs this year. So guess what? Instead of having a regular season party, the Birdcage is saying it first. We're going to have party at our spot. Dave and Buster's coming up, playoff time. Once we get in the playoffs, we get a date. We already got the ticket prices set up. We pretty much got everything. So, again, it's going to be a little bit more because it's a playoff game. But, hey, it is what it is. John can attest it was a hell of a time. And we had some former athletes to come through, Birdcage alum. We're going to do that again. And we got some prizes and a few other things. So, we're going to have a playoff party this year coming up. So, y'all stay tuned for that. But if the playoff party don't happen, we're going to have a draft party. So, I prefer the playoff party, by the way.
We all prefer the playoff party.
Yeah. But thank you for coming in, John. We definitely will continue to keep supporting that channel, the Eye Test, man. Y'all check those boys out over there. Ron, John, Winston, Keely, Coach, all them jokers. Hey, man, tell Coach he owe me a visit on this show, too, by the way. Make sure you tell him that.
Okay, I will.
All right,
good to see you, John.
All right. You guys take care.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
That's Big John, the Cricket Deacon. And as for the magnificent Birdcage crew, another classic show. Thank y'all, fellas, for coming through, man. Gray Beard, we appreciate you. K-Dub, we appreciate you, too. And not last but not least, the viewers. Thank y'all for coming through, because without y'all, we don't have a show. So, again, we love you. We can't wait till you guys hang with us again. But as we always say, man, hit that like and subscribe button on the way out. And as I always say,
Birdcage, you either get right or you get left.
so we'll catch you next week. Next time, 8 p.m. You know how we get down. Ghosts.